tens for the speakers. You'll hear us before you see us with beats that beat the streets up. Yeah. So try and keep up and keep it low key, cuz police try and treat us and keep us on a leash, cuz that's how they see us, thinking we nuts. Cuz we'll die for the ground beneath us, because this land made us. This land made of players that stay on paper. That's how we came up amongst the mayhem to the day when we display what we made of. The game can never change us, the West Side teaches. On these streets where you find that D before G. We out west with it, back down, trying to flip a dollar. If you looking, then we got it, you just got a bit of plot. We out west with it, riding clean, wetter than the sea. On the scene with a full tank, blowing AC. We out west with it, I'm posted, let me know what y'all on. Cause if y'all get on something, then just hit my phone. We out west with it, yes sir. Hustle for every penny in the trenches, but we turn struggle into strength. Smell the grind in the air, take a whiff. Only the nose knows the aroma. Compose the money rolls that fold up, holding cold cups. Searching for those that got the purple O's for the $4. And we can go nuts and stay at the stove like grocers, and post up with O's on the table like coasters. That's how the game coached us, made us all in the soldiers. Now that dough is the focus, so know that we own this. Molded by the hood role models, riding good, the latest model, drinking good, raising bottles like we just missed a pothole. You got to know that it's impossible to stop our flow. We've seen it all from watching cops reload 30s a dro while drinking the night away until the block got slow. You'll know as soon as you see us, we the ones laid back in the cut. My demeanor seems to always get me up. We out west with it, back down, trying to flip a dollar. If you looking, then we got it, you just got a bit of plot. We out west with it, riding clean, wetter than the sea. On the scene with a full tank, blowing AC. We out west with it, I'm posted, let me know what y'all on. Cause if y'all get on something, then just hit my phone. We out west with it, yes sir. Hustle for every penny in the trenches, but we turn struggle into strength. Yeah, home of the survivor, survival of the fittest in the town. It's wicked, you can J down in a minute. What am? What's the business? The biz is how you down and get it. From Cape Town to Fifth City, the sounds of Fifth's empty. When we tipsy is risky, where the lick be at least 10 deep. It tempts me, but there's no mystery. Where the chips be, the tips G. Just our history from the 60s. Pimpin' ain't easy, but we bleed it. This here game is in our veins, in the air we breathe in. Believe this, it's no game, but the key is your mouthpiece, spit your game. But believe, turn nothing into something. We suffer without supper long enough. Struggling from summer to summer, the same place where the dope is sold. It's home to the Oprah show, the same place I know is home. We out west with it, back down, trying to flip a dollar. If you looking, then we got it, you just got a bit of plot. We out west with it, riding clean, wetter than the sea. On the scene with a full tank, blowing AC. We out west with it, I'm posted, let me know what y'all on. Cause if y'all get on something, then just hit my phone. We out west with it, yes sir. Hustle for every penny in the trenches, but we turn struggle into
The Entourage DJs are taking over the game. The Midwest invasion is here, and the true Midwest mixtape king is giving it to you. It's DJ G-Spot banging your mixtapes right now.
You are now listening to Mixtape. DJ G-Spot and Mick Lou, Chi-Town's finest. It's definitely representing South Side, West Side, stand up.
Yeah, they honor my persona. See my coat of arms, cloaked in armor. Live and die by the code of honor. The honorable, known as Mick the Conqueror. My mantra is that of a monster. My vengeance is endless until you extinct like a condor. What you think I was armed for? I'm knocking at harm's door. Molded by the force, call me the Black Mamba. I'm putting up numbers like Kobe in the garden. My thought fears, thoughtless as I talk shit, and there's nothing as heartless as my heart spot. Deeper than the darkness that dwells where the sharks live. You sleeping with the fishes, I'm surfing with the marlins. On the surface, I'll unleash the carnage till you surf, till you starving, searching for a market. I'm the pit boss, tally up your losses. Your fate is sealed way before the card flips. You marks ain't shit. Topic of discussion, they ain't talking about nothing. Keep their noses in the sump. Y'all ain't talking about shit. I hear them wolfing in the whispers, snakes in the grass. We ain't thinking about your ass. Y'all ain't talking about shit. Fucking lying, I ain't buying. Ain't nobody even trying to hear that dumb shit shit you kickin'. Y'all ain't talking about shit. Find yourself some business, get yourself a life, and skedaddle, motherfucker. Y'all ain't talking about shit. Unlike the players, y'all engage in betrayal. So brave, do anything for the day they can slay you. So devious, even if you can't even see the hate. I don't need to plead my case till you please. I seize the day. Feast off your mistakes from the cleanest of plates. Palate of a pharaoh, it's all seasoned to taste. A vision of perfection, at least 3 in my face. Fanning me with feathers, tease me with grace. I can't conceive defeat, nor will I concede the race to these conceited lames that can't believe my pace. So intrigued by my intrigue and display that intrigues the brain, there's nothing left to say. Hands down, I lure them to attack like cash. It's the allure of a champion with my banner in the rafters. Topic of discussion, they ain't talking about nothing. Keep their noses in the sun. Y'all ain't talking about shit. I hear them wolfing in the whispers, snakes in the grass. We ain't thinking about your ass. Y'all ain't talking about shit. Fucking lying, I ain't buying. Ain't nobody even trying to hear that dumb shit you kickin'. Y'all ain't talking about shit. Find yourself some business, get yourself a life, and skedaddle, motherfucker. Y'all ain't talking about shit.
Just some niggas throwing gang signs and hollows where I'm from. They pop pills, sip lean, and bless bottles where I'm from. If you still ain't figured it out, nigga, Chicago where I'm from. Home of some of the most notable women and men to exist. But the only stars niggas on their heads, the fin and the six. Most of us settle, however some intend to get rich. We lose homies and hit the internet to pretend that they miss. We spend link at the corner store, and motherfucker ain't gotta be enlisted in no army or Marine Corps to be going to war. It's gun smoke in the air, and it's blood stains on the floor. We all born poor, but yet and still we feel we born a sword. A beautiful struggle, bodies left blood oozing in puddles. We love to hate like a poisonous dart from Cupid then struck you. Shit, you stupid as fuck if you let the stupid instruct you. Should be using your muscle to build a lucrative hustle. Crabs in a bucket, so when one make it feel like we all did. From the county to Stateville, long stretches and small bids. The clucks chasing they last high. The shorties throw up middle fingers when the low pass by. They ask why we live this way. You couldn't overstand it unless you had to. Faggot police harass you, so-called homies will blast you. A message to out of towners written in blood. Don't take your dumb ass to the hood if you ain't plugged.
Spit with the curse of Capone. You gotta live with all the words you condone. Then it's on. They'll kill you dead, then bring the hearse to your home. Back in my shorty days, niggas will put a 40 to your sporting waves. Nowadays, these niggas thugging on phones. How it's nice, I used to play for the Dome. Philly been killing. But when you ball, get you a gun, it'd be like Ben Wilson, the pin drilling. Fuck how out of towners view the shot. I'm out west where every conflict crucial is do or die. If it's war, it's gonna be to the death. It's you or I. I come at peace, but if you touch my body, that's suicide. And my bloodline is niggas that'll kill and move a by. I got a QP and sold it to my mans at U of I. My pop told me, just get through high school, then you decide. In the shy, it's the 6 to the fan. Choose a side, move and slide. The city don't wanna see you with shit. From politicians to the preachers, hard to see who legit. Sell some seed for you to see green and piece you to fit. It's I am God and the God green who's seeing this shit. Let's go. If you think it's love here, then pump your brakes. This the wild onion, that dark ass city that love to hate.
Okay,
let's go.
show off. I'm from a land where the texts go off. Them gang signs thrown and the heads broke off. We hate you niggas, cause we gave birth to you ungrateful niggas. So in the 6 feet of earth, it's where we place you niggas. It's barely a secret, we move shit, telekinesis. And box niggas like Chevy Caprices. My stress is post-traumatic. All I see is murders and massacres. Cancer patients and catheters.
As I take a sip of this fifth that makes me shiver, you could probably sail a ship on this river full of liquor. We stay afloat where hope drowns in addictions, a potent mixture. This is the picture that depicts us. We live it up, giving what we were given, gave our all, refused to give in or give up, willing to risk it all. Gee, we lived on the tip drunk, dug deep in the trenches, shit, we knew what the risk was. But of course, again, it's the same story when shots fired in the alley hit shorty valedictorian. Where's the support for him, the less fortunate? Another life lost, another day in court again. 20 years for the defendant for any sort of grin. Ward of the state, he was raised in an orphanage. To where it all began, the source of it. Empty cupboards, floorboards, no money for the store again. That's all he knows.
Just where I come from, all of what I've learned, most of what I've done, I owe it all to the people that I love. I hope you're proud of me wherever I go. I'm from.
It's all political. What you tripping for? The richest ones get riches from the rituals. On the tip with hype, tippy toe for a fix a blow, getting dough, running every type of give and go. No Philip drumming in these different strokes. Where we come up on these risky roads, pray for a pot to piss in for the kitchen stove. Criminal capers just to get us on, bagging up the same order that gets us gone. Thinking maybe one day we may hit that goal. Until then I'm outside until I flip this soul, grabbing fingers from the sick go on Cicero. I see a visual of them people frisking, bro, stretched out by a shorty with the grimace on. Sometimes it ain't even the money, it's the principle. Can tell you why we die, but what are we living for?
This is my city, just where I come from. All of what I've learned, most of what I've done, I owe it all to the people that I love. I hope you're proud of me wherever I go.
This is the Treasure Gym.
They might listen to radio, they might turn on TV, they might listen to music. Old school, new school, rap, hip hop, whatever it is, it has a beat and a cadence, and you can pick it up on radio waves, TV waves, whatever you want. You get to pick up this sound, and you dive to it.
Tell me this ain't rap, yeah. This ain't rap, just discussing the facts. True that, check it, look. This ain't rap, just discussing the facts. Too many of us down where the fuck I'm at. Niggas so far gone that they can't come back. Got cut with buck 50s or bust from the gap. Just another body done on the map. Just another statistic, just another stat. Just another color, just another black. Just another brother under. Understand that? Nah, not really, but it seems I'm being forced. Growing up in the G, seen it from the front porch. He's being scorched, peeps reaching for the torch. Next day we being caught like a child needs support. Can I get away, midway airport? Days like this, wish I was in the Air Force. How dare beat the devil, can't dare be cold. Don't need to write it down, just share me those. This ain't rap, nah, this ain't rap, nah, this ain't rap. Just discussing the facts. Too many of us stand where the fuck I'm at. This ain't rap, nah, this ain't rap, nah, this ain't rap. Just discussing the facts. Look, check it. This ain't rap, just kicking the actuals. Revolutionized rebel, I'm a radical. Before you, after you. BC, AC, attitude. Do what I wanna do, after what I had to do. Cops telling me to freeze cause they ain't half as cool. Man, this is a weapon, you don't have to blast the tool. Shorties lack knowledge, they had bad schools. Ain't have a penny for they thoughts, had bad food. Saying no to drugs as if it's from Baton Rouge. Yeah, I smoke good, stay out of bad moods. Hopefully the good does outweigh the bad news. Don't shoot the messenger, return the sender. God's been in you since you entered mom's placenta. Listen to me, finna be a winner. Dictionary bars just saying what I meant to. This ain't rap, nah, this ain't rap, nah, this ain't rap. Just discussing the facts. Still facts though. Real black though.
You think you're listening to one thing. And then under a track so deep, especially if you have melanin, because they know it's very sensitive to vibrations of all kinds, they'll put in a counter melody or something that you don't want to hear. And while you're tuned to that you think you are hearing, because it's on a frequency with this what they call the subatomic brain, or what they want to call again the inner brain, the mind brain, it's appealing to it. Now that's really trickery and the hardest fashion you can. And the more relaxed you get with the one, the more you can now pick up the other one, which is now suddenly being broadcast.
This is the traffic jam.
I'm ready. I ain't fucking with them busters, I ain't fucking with them bluffing ass, nothing ass motherfuckers neither. So when you catch me at the show, this shit ain't just for show. So I gave my nigga Lou the Desert Eagle. Then it's right back on the grind. I hustle till I shine. I don't hear no fear, no evil. Make it 40 off a dime. Waiting some other time, but the people try to tell me it's illegal.
Am I my brother's keeper? Hell nah, I dig ditches, put you bitches in a sleeper. When you see us, keep it moving like the meter, we off the meat. Meet me at the meeting to miss your beat while I'm riding off, smelling like Sunny D.
Millard, and I'm rocking with the Bigs.
Hey, this is Jason Kidd, and we're rocking with the Bigs.
I'm Chris Bryant from the Chicago Cubs, and I'm rocking with the Bigs.
This is Mark Cuban, Dallas Mavericks.
WIFTBPM. Live from What's in It for the Black Media Studio. You're listening to The Bigs with Eugene McIntosh and Terrence Tomlin. Let's begin now.
What's going on, everybody, man? Hopefully you're having a great hump day, a.k.a. Wednesday. Yes, it is, Gino. I'm on point today, man, but you know we want to say it's officially time to jump back down on the soil. You are rocking with the Bigs, live from the West End for the Black People Media Studios. I'm your man, T-Time, coming to you as usual with my brother. What's going on, Gino?
What's the Benoski?
It is all good. I'm enjoying this 70-degree weather day. Wishing I had a baseball game to go to. I can't front, Gino, but
I'll handle that for you.
Definitely got a lot of things to talk about today. Like you said, I know you're going to handle it for me. The Cubs, bruh, on a decent little tear, picked up their, how many wins in a row is that last night?
That was 3 in a row yesterday.
3 in a row.
And
up to 500 on it, over 500 on the year.
For the first time in over a month. Playing some good baseball, man. Looking like the guys I expected them to be.
Definitely, man. We got to talk White Sox baseball. Tony La Russa, he done found his way back into the conversation. Remember on the last Diamond Talk I did, you know, I said no Tony La Russa news is good news. That's totally not the case. We got a bunch of things to talk about on that front. But Gino, the play-in games, man. I want to know if you're still excited for more play-in basketball after seeing the Eastern Conference edition of the play-in games that started yesterday. Charlotte versus Indiana and Washington versus Boston. Gino, I got some questions because I feel like I took a whole 180 on my excitement. Took a whole 180 as far as me looking forward to those few games. So I'm looking forward to talking to you about that for sure. But of course, I got to start by checking your temperature, bro. How you feeling? What's on your mind?
Man, I'm decent, man. Happy Wednesday to everybody out there rocking with the brothers on the soil. We appreciate it. Special shout out to those who get in tune with us late nights on Diamond Talk Live, man. We are very appreciative of your time, man.
Facts.
It's fun, man, getting that off at night, especially after W's. After losses, it's like,
It's like, damn,
I guess I got to go in on the guys. But after wins, it's like, let's give these guys some props, especially when they're playing good baseball. So Diamond Talk Live for the last week and a half has been fun to give to the people. And shout out to the people for tuning in, commenting, always keeping our lives jumping, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But, man, I'm all good, man. Wednesday, hump day.
Hump day.
Decent outside.
Get over that hump, y'all.
It's a little rainy, but a little rain ain't stopped nobody, so I'm all good, man. I can't complain one bit. Oh, I could, but don't nobody want to hear that.
But I won't.
Yeah, you know. So
now, like you said, Gino, definitely shout out to the people that's tuning in to Diamond Talk Live. You had the people, you know, it was a pretty good crowd last night for the Cubs. I feel like since they're winning, they're definitely going to catch a few people's attention, man. But
you know what's funny to me?
What's good?
And this is not a diss at all because
it's not a diss song.
It's not a diss song. But White Sox fans, you know, they all, when it comes to Cubs and White Sox, it's not my fault that the White Sox are the little brothers. It's like the Mets and the Yankees. The Mets can win 5 in a row.
So where is this coming from?
Sox fans in my inbox.
What are they saying?
And I'm just like, bro,
because
the coverage is there.
What are they saying?
Man, why y'all the same thing they've been saying? And I'm not calling no names. But they watch On the Soil. I'm just a couple of them might be on the soil.
You have to direct them to my inbox. You know what I mean?
I'm like, bro, T was live from Guaranteed Rate
for a
straight
5-2
week
homestand
for 6 straight days.
Come on, 5-2.
The coverage is there, bro.
You know what I mean? I thought you were gonna be. So you seen some White Sox fans talking crazy about the Cubs, and I feel like my timeline is always the opposite. I'm always seeing Cubs fans talk crazy about the White Sox. Well, they got a bunch of opportunity last night with Tony La Russa and the Yermin situation.
That's Tony La Russa.
It's low hanging fruit.
Yeah, we knew this was a crash course waiting to happen anyway.
Thank you. From the very first moment we found out he was a manager.
I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt, but deep down inside, hey, man.
Should we jump into that first? Should we go ahead and break down what's going on with the White Sox?
We can, because if we got to take our break, we can continue after the break. But let's get into it because
yes,
and this is just, and I'm gonna let you take the mic, but this is just clearly a sign of the times, bro. The game has clearly passed Tony La Russa by, man.
It is, you know, and I feel like this is the first time where
unbelievable.
There's absolutely no debate that that's the case.
Y'all, if y'all heard that in the background, that's my MacBook starting back up.
Yes, sir.
But go ahead.
We have power, but Gino, man, unfortunately, we're not about to talk about the fact that the White Sox have the best record in baseball, which I feel like is the most unfortunate thing.
It's crazy that that's not why we're talking about the White Sox.
Bro. Yeah, I mean, these guys have found a way to float right to the top of the standings. The offensive numbers are through the roof. The starting rotation numbers are through the roof. And unfortunately, what did Peyton Manning say about his kicker? Unfortunately, today we got to talk about our idiot manager. You know what I mean? And the state of baseball, or the state of the culture of baseball as it pertains to Tony La Russa, who is 76 years old, was born in 1944.
Is he 76?
76 years old.
Oh, okay.
I stayed up doing some homework, Gino. I got to break it down to you.
Okay.
How we got to this moment. The White Sox turned a lot of heads yesterday in the 60-game season. Was in first place for most of that year with Ricky Renteria, who was at the time 58 years old. And I'm paying attention to the age. I'm going to tie it together at the end. Okay. 58 years old last season made him tied for the 4th oldest manager in the league. The oldest manager in the league last year was Joe Madden at 65 years old. Okay? You already know how it went down at the end of the season. They were the first team to clinch, the last team to actually solidify a playoff seed. They went in as the final seed in the playoffs, face Oakland in a best of 3 and lose. A lot of the talk is the fact that Ricky Renteria mismanages the bullpen, but his rebuttal to that was the front office didn't give me any weapons at the trade deadline because we been needed a third arm. You know what I mean? So the writing was on the wall. They fired him. So now you have this great opportunity with this young up-and-coming team who everybody is saying is World Series potential champions. You have an opportunity to hire maybe whoever you may feel is the best manager available to come and lead these guys. So, of course, the fan base is excited. Is it going to be Bruce Bochy? Is it going to be the old boy from the Astros who was coming off a suspension and going to be looking for a new team to manage. The White Sox didn't choose any of those guys, Gino.
They didn't even choose the cheater from Houston.
They didn't choose the cheater from Houston. They chose a Tony La Russa, Hall of Fame manager, that had been out of the league 9 years and he was 58, 59. Tony La Russa is 76 years old, bruh. Ricky Renteria was the 4th oldest manager. They went and got a manager over 10 years older than him and a manager that was 9 years older than the oldest manager in the league to come and manage this team.
And at least Joe Madden, and we know because we were there.
He got some spunk to him.
Thank you, man.
He's
progressive.
Cool. Thank you.
Uncle Joe.
He
reminds you of your cool uncle.
This Tony La Russa
reminds you of your crank uncle.
Was dealing with the DUI charge when he got the Chicago White Sox job. So we're talking about a manager who was probably brought in here to get the guys, serious. Meanwhile, he's battling a DUI. Plus, he's older than 75 years old. He's a senior citizen with a DUI charge, bro.
And what did he tell them people when they pulled him over?
I'm a Hall of Famer. You can't arrest me.
Man, don't y'all know who I am? I'm Tony La Russa.
Don't you see the rings? Kiss them. So fast forward to a couple of days ago. The White Sox are in full flourish mode, beating the brakes off of the Minnesota Twins. It was a 15-4 game. In comes, a.k.a. AMG Mercedes.
Is he the Sox best hitter right now?
He's the Sox best hitter. He has the most hits and has the best batting average, okay? He started the season 8 for 8 as a rookie, and that's never been done. And it wasn't a fluke. He's been hot ever since. They throw a position player in here to face him because, and Gene, I want you to kind of chime in because you played baseball. You've been around these unwritten rules. The unwritten rule is once you put a position player in, then that's like your white flag, and you expect the opposing.
What camera am I looking at?
Put it in both of them.
Can I put them in all of them, actually?
But you expect the offensive team to lay down their bats. You know what I mean? Didn't do that. The position player threw a 45-mile-per-hour lob up to the plate, and Mercedes sent it 420 feet outside of the park to make it a 16-4 game. And then after that, all hell breaks loose. Tony La Russa comes into the post game and says, Yermin was clueless. He ignored a sign not to swing. And because of that, he apologized to the Minnesota Twins for Yermin's foolishness. Quote.
Now let's stop there.
To be continued?
To be continued after the break. But before we go to break, I'm looking in the camera.
Stone Cold Steve Austin action, the double up, the double fist.
To these unwritten rule baseball
what they say,
gatekeepers.
To beat somebody that bad?
Yes. They saying that y'all already
They're waving
beat us
the white
enough.
flag. That's basically waving the white flag when you throw your pitcher in for the last inning. But
which is ridiculous.
We're going to get to that. But again, before we go to break, to all the baseball unwritten rule gatekeepers,
got 2 words for you.
Ron Rilla, take us to break. When we come back on the other side, we have to continue this conversation. Tony La Russa can take the 3rd floor window. You're on the soil with the Bigs.
WIFTBPM. We all remember our life before COVID-19. The parades, the lakefront barbecues, taste of Chicago, the happy hours, and most importantly, loving those unforgettable moments with our friends and families. Getting Chicago vaccinated is what will make the activities we miss safe for everyone. So let's get back to it, Chicago. Let's come together to end this pandemic. Find your vaccine at chi.gov/COVIDvax.
Hey, sunshines. If you didn't catch the last page in the Book of Dawn, here's what you missed.
So you found that, but you also, during those times, made a conscious decision to create a base for yourself outside of the Isleys or the great artists that you tour with. And from that, the Mo Fitz Project was born. Can you tell us how and why you did the Mo Fitz Project?
Let me tell you something. I had been touring since I was 17. And what happened was Eve, your girl Eve, was doing different events around town. And I remember it was right on 47th Street.
Yeah, I think it was Blue 47.
Yeah, one of those spots. So Eve was doing something with them. So they were like, we're hiring bands. I was like, I'm going to put something together and go play local. Let me do that. And through that situation from Eve, the Mo Fitz Project was birthed. I was like, oh, okay, this would be great to actually come home and put quality guys together and make music locally outside of the touring. I just found another joy in it. And crazy, remember Terrence came up with the Mo Fitz.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Terrence was like, you need to call it the Mo Fitz, Reese. Mo Fitz. Use your name. This is how that name came about. It was Terrence Kane and my girl Eve Bridgeworth. She was the launching pad for that. And then she would hire me to do different events. And she started hiring me to do weddings and stuff she was doing. And then it just kind of birthed into that.
Don't forget to tune in weekdays, 9 a.m. to the Book of Dawn from the What's in It for the Black People Media Studios. Roll Tide, y'all.
WIIFTBP Media's just for you and me. WIIFTBP Media's just for you and me.
Day one. Yes, sir, I like how that sound right there, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of inspirational. It's like everybody got a goal. They're trying to reach or alive. They're trying to live, man. Be bumps in the road. You gotta keep pushing forward. You know what I'm saying? If it don't kill you, it make you strong. You know what I'm saying? My story right here. It takes a special kind of mind to grind and work from the bottom and climb up the ladder of success in time. It doesn't matter what the test is, every step is another level till I step in as the next in line, no question. I'm considered one of the best, my whole life invested in, holding mics and sketching rhymes, you guessed it. I'm on mine, still restless, yes, even pressed up my records on my own dime. As many battles I blew breath in, and open mics I blessed. I'll never be labeled an overnight success, passing out CDs, doing shows for free, then dabbing Bo to eat so that my soul could speak over these soulful beats that's so cold to me. Like the breeze in the shower, we be posted deep. All the prices that I paid, the sacrifices I made, it'll all come to life one day, someday. Just be patient, man. Bumps the road ain't nothing. Rotate, doesn't stop nothing. Check it out. Look, I remember it like yesterday, trying to get my record played at a radio station where they play hits for days. Having a conversation with this lady I'm facing while she making a statement made for me. She said, look, it's too many words in your hook. You need to work on your look. For what it's worth, I never took her words personal. But at first, I wasn't certain though if she knew my words are personal and not just verses and books until the curtain closes. This is my version of what I know, learning in first person till I blow. And still I know how it feels to know I'm the deal. Did you still feel like a deal is just right, or a deal just might still add to my appeal? But they won't know I'm real till I touch my first million, right? I'ma chill till my bars is felt and play my hand with
Man, they won't know I'm real till I touch my first million, right? They been knowing the bigs was real. I've been real all my life, so I don't need $1 million before they find out we real. But shout out to ML for the classic Someday. That's my mama's favorite song, by the way.
Now I feel like it sounds beautiful with the weather changing. That's one of those roll with the windows all the way down, let it ring out your cartoons. You know what I mean?
Hey, I saw Mark Aguirre. Shout out to the legend Mark Aguirre. I saw
Big Mark
riding through Hyde Park.
Yes,
it had to be Monday. because I was going to Bank of America. I wasn't in Hyde Park yesterday. So it had to be Monday. I saw Big Mar just floating through the P, windows down, just chilling.
Yes, sir.
I'm like, Mars don't need, I mean, this, we of age now, so it's like celebrities, all of that, it's whatever. But I'm like, Mars don't even know the coldest high school player of all time is floating down the P with his windows down. People looking probably just don't even think twice. If it was Big Mike or if it was Isaiah Thomas or if it was KG.
People stopping and staring.
Yeah, man.
Nah, Big Mark definitely deserves that same reaction. I feel like every time we get a chance to be in front of him, I'm always kind of starstruck and all.
Man, before we get back into the White Sox talk, Mark had went live. It may have been like a month ago, a month and a half, maybe 2 months ago. He went to the old park in his neighborhood where he first started hooping. And there was some shorties out there. Okay. And Mark walked up on him, and he was just talking to the live, and he was like, man, this is I used to walk to this park, every day to get my hoop on. So it was some shorties out there. He was just talking to him and explaining to him some things. And then he was like, man, do y'all know who Isaiah Thomas is? They was like, yeah. Man, y'all know who such and such is? Yeah. Man, y'all know who Mark Aguirre is? They like, nope. And he was like, man, that's crazy. And, he wasn't saying it in an arrogant way. Uh-huh. But he was just saying, man.
In this city,
in my neighborhood where I came up in, they don't even know that this is me on the soil.
Yes, back down. Yes, sir.
And it was crazy that he was right. It was like, it's just no way. I don't care how young you are. Like, especially in that neighborhood, that should be Mark Aguirre Park, if you ask me.
I feel that 100%. And, to the youngsters, there's no way that you can dig through the history of Chicago hoops and not find your way upon Big Mark Aguirre. So do your Googles, kids. Yeah, Go ahead and do your history because that's the only way the game can move forward. Not with 1,000 Instagram views or 100 Instagram likes. No, the only way the game moves forward is if you know your history, G. Get to it, kids.
Now let's get back to this White Sox.
Let's.
So you left off.
We left off with Eugene sending the position player's home run out of the park for a home run, opening the can on the Minnesota Twins, beating them 16-4. The post game, Tony La Russa says that's not what he wanted. And, as the manager of the team, I feel like if it is some credence in it, it's the fact that if Tony La Russa gave a sign not to swing, then I can understand Tony La Russa saying, hey, you should have followed the sign. But even still, I'm not mad at a rookie who has spent the last few years of his life battling to get to that level.
Say it again.
And is going to be judged by what he does at this level.
Say it again.
This is a cat that came from the Dominican Republic,
leagues.
Bro,
come on,
and is trying to stay on this level.
Stats matter.
And now you're telling him to take the foot off the pedal when it's been mashed for years.
No way.
Okay? So I don't think anybody in their right mind was mad at Mercedes. I low-key loved it because I knew Tony La Russa was going to hate it. But I didn't expect him to go as hard as he did in the postgame.
He went extremely hard.
On Yermin Mercedes, who's been his best player this year, who's kept him alive when he's lost Eloy and Luis Robert, which in any other instance, that sinks your team. Like, your season is over. You lose two bats like that. That hasn't been the case, and a big reason for it is Yermin, a.k.a. AMG Mercedes. Fast forward to the next game. I turned on sports radio the next morning, Gino, and I was kind of tripping that the conversation was, how is Tony La Russa going to react? Is he going to punish Yermin? Is he going to keep him in the lineup? So I'm like, okay, yeah, I forgot that we got a old man as a manager, a super old school figure. You feel me? So fast forward, he keeps Yermin in the lineup, but of course, Yermin and Tony La Russa are the ones that are speaking in the pregame press conference, the Zoom. Yermin comes on, and I loved it. I loved every single word he said. He said, hey, look, this is me, and if I'm going to be on this level and excel, then I have to be me, and you can expect more of that moving forward. I thought it was refreshing because it was just another example of where we are in baseball right now, right. In the major leagues. Right. Kids, and I call them kids, compared to my age, but these are young men who have dedicated themselves to the game just like everybody before them. But now they aren't afraid to tell the older cats, you know, the managers, the generation a couple of years before us, that we like to have fun, Joe. Like, we like to celebrate when we have big hits, celebrate when we have big strikeouts. We like to put our foots on throats when we're up. Ain't no waving the white flag. As long as it's outs to be had, I'm swinging. You know what I mean? So I love it. Tony La Russa comes up in his own. And oh my God, did he double down on his sentiments from the day before. He called Yermín Mercedes clueless and said that
he called him clueless.
He called him clueless and said that after speaking with him, now he has a clue at how you're supposed to respect the game.
I'm so sick of that.
That's
word.
the phrase you got.
I'm so sick of
the
that.
most.
I'm so sick
you gotta
of that.
respect the game. You gotta have respect for the game. It's about respecting the game. Meanwhile, the other team has a positional player
which is
on the mound.
Disrespect.
Which is, if I'm Yermín, I'm like, how dare you,
How
fam?
dare you, bro?
So then all hell breaks loose on Sox Twitter, man. People, like you said at the top of the show, man, this is exactly what people were afraid of when Tony La Russa was hired. The fact that this young team who is so fun to watch now has a guy in their own clubhouse that is trying to put him in a cage, is trying to put the muzzle on him. And the most polarizing thing from yesterday, I feel, Gino, is that Tony La Russa did have a couple of allies on his roster. He had Lance Lynn. He had Dallas Keuchel. He had a couple of guys in the bullpen that were, that played during that era and got respect for Tony La Russa. All of those cats came out yesterday, whether in the Zoom or on Twitter, and said, we need to stop playing like that. Like, all these unwritten rules need to go out the window. And actually, over the last few years, it's been dead anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I feel like Tony La Russa is out here butt naked. And I'm wondering who's going to have the courage to come out and say, you know what I mean, Tony La Russa, your voice is not the voice. And honestly, if you're saying that, then do you even really deserve a voice in the scheme of things when it comes to managers? I mean, look at some of the young guys that are doing. I mean, Rocco Baldelli, Aaron Boone, guys
David
Ross. People we know that won't uphold those unwritten rules. So I just feel like it's a bunch of self-inflicted chaos going on with the White Sox right now. And then on top of that, they end up losing the game. They were up 4-1 yesterday. They
did Miguel Sano hit 3 home runs
in 3 straight at bats, bro.
I saw the bomb
two
to center
two
and
solo
the one
home
to
runs,
Oppo.
and then the 2-run home run to tie it up.
Okay.
And then they walked it off in the ninth with a couple of hits. You know what I mean? But Miguel Sano went absolutely hammer in 3 straight at bats. I think they were all within the first three pitches of the at bat, so he was locked in. But you can't help but feel that the situation that was going on inside of, the game inside the game lended to the L last night. And now I'm starting to wonder, how long is this going to linger? You know what I mean? And then, of course, you look at the Instagram comments, the screenshots. You got Tim Anderson commenting on Instagram telling Yermín to keep doing him.
Now, this is on whose page?
This is on Yermín's page.
Okay.
And Tim jumped in and was like, hey,
so
Big Daddy, go crazy.
What was his post?
Oh, Yermín, it was Yermín. It was a Yermín post. It was like, I'm going to stay doing me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Period.
Okay.
So Tim basically was like, yes, do that. And I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to understand it may be some dissension in that clubhouse right now. But I want to ask you, Gino, what type of effect can this have on a roster? And even for a roster that's playing as well as these guys are, do you think it matters that they have a manager right now who, at least, when it comes to the character of the team, is on the complete other end of the spectrum?
It definitely 100% matters. And number one, it's crazy to me that Tony La Russa is totally oblivious to the fact that he's an idiot. And no one is riding with him, not just his teammates, but baseball, period. No one is riding with Tony La Russa right now. So I don't know if you mentioned the fact that last night the Twins pitcher threw at Eugene.
That's what really kicked it off. As far as the situation, staying alive.
So Gardner. So I want to go back to a couple of these comments before we continue on.
They definitely threw at Eugene a 93 mile per hour fastball.
So Gardner says, shout out to Gardner's Watts. Gardner says, there are some unwritten baseball rules I can rock with. Like if the opposing pitcher intentionally throws at one of the batters, then next inning is retaliation. But the rule LaRussa was trying to hold up, they can throw that one away. I don't have an issue with throwing at the batter.
I got a major issue with throwing at a batter.
As long as you don't throw at his head, I'm cool with it. I need some spice in my baseball life.
Let me tell you. I mean, yes, don't throw at his head, but we just seen. Who was that on the mess that just took that 90?
That was Kevin Pillar.
Kevin Pillar.
Did you see him in the interview?
He was leaking immediately.
Did you see him in the
I didn't
Have you
see
seen
the
him since?
I haven't seen him since. All I saw was him leaking as soon as that baseball hit him.
Man, that boy looked like he took a 7-piece spicy from Mike Tyson.
Thank you, bro. But see, that's what throwing a baseball at somebody's body.
That's true.
Could happen. I'm like, I don't understand. And I want you to keep digging in the comments, and I want you to let me know what's up if I'm kind of off base.
No, that's fine. I want to hear.
The ball Mercedes hit a home run off of was 40 miles per hour. They threw almost 100 mile per hour fastball at this dude in retaliation. G, it just don't seem fitting to me.
I agree.
Because
I understand.
And now it didn't really hit. It bounced and hit. You know what I mean? But if it hit him, I'm charging the mound with my bat. With my bat.
Nah.
Because if you using weapons, I got a weapon in my hand, and that's the whole thing. You know what I mean? Okay. It's like, now we supposed to throw hands. You threw a baseball at me, fam.
That mug's hurt.
Yes, bro.
Ron Rilla getting hit in the face or in the body in Little League baseball determines your fate, whether you want to continue playing baseball or not.
Honestly, I don't know if I've ever heard a realer comment than that, because I've seen that happen.
Oh, we've seen it happen more than not. You get hit, you never see this kid again. You talk to him, man, I got hit in the arm with a ball, and that was it for me.
That's how I got over to third base. Playing Little League, bro. The third baseman got a comebacker in his face. And it was like, nope, that's it. And but I remember the first time I realized I was about to get hit with a baseball. I'm in my batting stance, waiting for it to come into the zone, and all of a sudden this thing is coming towards my face. And I just kind of throw my hands up real quick. And of course I feel like I can tell you exactly where I got hit. I mean,
probably
you don't
still
forget.
got the thread of the baseball mark in your arm.
Gee, I just don't understand why grown men feel the need to retaliate at all. When a guy hits a home run off a dude that don't even pitch for a living, like he's a position player. He's lucky he didn't give up a home run to everybody he faced.
Well, so let's go back, and that's another point that I wanted to make. Be mad at yourself for having to throw a position player in on the mound at the end of the game. If
You're
you wanted
getting beat so bad that we don't even want to use one of our real pitchers.
That's ridiculous.
Thank you. Like how is that respecting the game?
I really got to tee off now.
Thank you.
Now these guys being creatures of habit and nature, and they're not used to seeing 50 mile per hour balls. So more times than not, when they see that little beach ball coming to the plate, their eyes get so big that they overswing, and they'll usually hit a pop-up or a ground ball, and you see that more than you see what happened with your Mercedes.
Yeah.
So I understand why. I understand the science behind it, but
you see,
no way.
You feel me? I feel like the term unwritten rule just sends me for a loop before we even get to the actual rules. It's like an unwritten rule is basically written by somebody that's making rules on the go.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just making up rules as the game go along. And I can totally see somebody one day being mad that a dude hit a home run off of him, and they just throw at him the next time. They like, that's an unwritten rule. Like, gee, that's some of the pettiest stuff in sports. It's like, what's the equivalent? What would the equivalent be in basketball? Like if you hit a shot in my face, next time you go up, I get
cross
to
me up.
Yeah, I get to like
fall
put
and
an
you
elbow
look
into
down
your
at
face
me.
the next time.
Yeah, I'll get a flagrant foul.
Yeah, no way.
That's Charles Oakley, Anthony Mason, Zoe Morning. These things happen. Now, maybe not to the extreme, but this is
and go ahead because I want to.
No, I'm just saying, like when you look at all sports, it's like anytime I watch hockey, and that's another thing I want to talk about, the Stanley Cup, the Stanley Cup playoffs. But
a couple of days ago, to start the game, did you see it was
12
4 fights?
Yeah.
At one time.
But that's really the only reason I would watch hockey is to see them guys beat the brakes off each other.
Bruh, if that happened in baseball or basketball, mugs would be trying to arrest players before they leave the stadium.
Well, those guys aren't as protected with the equipment as hockey players, so you know.
And I feel like, of course, the whiteness.
Yeah,
of
course, of course.
The whiteness of it.
They're thugs.
Yeah, but see now again, I feel like you can't even talk about the unwritten rules. And you tell me if this is wrong because I heard Ozzy speaking about it. And I feel like he said what you just said. He knows how the game is played,
right,
and understands that retaliation in some aspect is part of it.
Yeah. And as far as throwing at a guy, these guys are technicians.
They know when to throw.
And they know how to throw. The Kevin Pillar situation, okay, that happens. That was accidental.
A ball got loose.
The balls get away from you every now and then. But when you're throwing at a guy, it's just like painting the corner.
Mm-hmm.
That's precision. You know how to do that. So you know how to throw at a guy. Like yesterday, he didn't throw at Yermaine Mercedes' head. He threw at his leg. I didn't have an issue. I thought it was cool, to be honest with you. I just wanted to see what I wanted to see the benches clear. I'm an old school baseball guy, bro. I don't mind seeing them. I don't mind it.
Look, I mean, I just, as a competitor, ain't retaliation striking him out on his next at bat.
Yeah.
If you hit him, you putting this man on base and he could come around and score.
That's true.
I mean, it's like, what is retaliation?
In a ball game that's a one-run ball. It was a two-run.
It was a 2-run ball game.
Minnesota was losing, right?
Yeah, Minnesota was losing. They ended up winning the game, but at the time they threw at them, they were down 2 runs.
Okay, so answer this. Josh says, so how do you think Yermaine should respond? Kill him with grace or go the fuck off in the game and the clubhouse?
Bombs away, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's why the fans are kind of rallying around the player as opposed to the manager, is because he's giving the people what they want. You know? Like, people watch the game to see players have fun, and I can't think of a player having more fun right now than Yermaine Mercedes.
And going back to what you said, this is a guy who played in 8 years in the Dominican League, finally got his shot due to injury, and now he's making the most of it. And you want him to dumb it down?
See, now
you got to be crazy.
And then at the same time, Gino, to go back to the age thing, I feel like most of the people trying to uphold these unwritten rules are like 70 years old and older. I haven't seen too many people that are in the game that mess with Tony La Russa, and you said that. Even Trevor Bauer, like Major League Baseball's biggest villain, said that if you're trying to uphold the unwritten rules, then kindly remove yourself from the game. And
say that again.
He tweeted that out, Trevor Bauer.
Okay, he said what?
He said, this is yesterday.
So he said what?
If you're trying to uphold the written rules of baseball, kindly remove yourself from the game and get that out of here. And honestly,
Trevor Bauer was one of my favorite guys.
Oh, Trevor, come on. He's a villain. I love villains. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, G. So, I can't front, though. As a White Sox fan, this worries me. Because if Tony La Russa thinks that's going to be the last instance where this team, so to say, breaks an unwritten rule, if he thinks that yesterday or 2 days ago was the last time, the man may have a heart attack, because this is a team that makes a living off of breaking the unwritten rules.
So Sid, shout out to Sid, Sidney Brown. Sid said,
"What's good, Sid?
The White Sox better hope that this issue is nipped in the bud today. Problems like this could divide the clubhouse, and Tony La Russa will not get them back under his control. They're not under his control right now. I agree with you 100%, Sid, but they're not in his control right now.
No, they are not.
Again,
the only thing he controls is that lineup card, okay?
Again, the fact that he's totally oblivious to the fact that he's an idiot and no one is riding with him is crazy to me. But the fact that Rick Hahn they got to pull the plug, bro.
Nah.
Tony La Russa should not be the manager of this squad any longer.
Not now. Real quick, Sid. Let me respond to Sid real quick.
Yeah.
I was hoping they nipped it in the bud last night, and the fact that they lost that game worries me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday was the game to win, and now they're just a few minutes from the first pitch. They got a noon game today, so those guys are about to go ahead and start game 3 of that series, and hopefully if the White Sox win, that'll be another series win. But this team, I feel like, has been winning in spite of its manager for the last couple of weeks. I mean, we saw the moves that he's been making, some of the hair scratchers, some of the ways that he manages the bullpen, and even just some of the day-to-day lineups, man. It's been a little crazy, but the White Sox have still found a way to have the best record in baseball. What worries, like I said, what worries me is the fact that now, when I thought that Tony La Russa may have had some guys in his corner, now I don't think anybody's in his corner.
Not one.
And when that's the case, I feel like that's a fast track to the button being pressed. And to your point, Gino, we haven't heard from Rick Hahn or Kenny Williams, and I feel like I'm asking them the same question that I asked Tony La Russa on a nightly basis. Like, are you awake? You know what I mean? Are you seeing what's actually going on with this team right now? Because it totally has the potential to continue to be an issue. You're entering a part of the schedule where you're not about to be playing supreme bums. You know what I mean? You got some good teams in front of you, and it's about to be measuring stick time. This situation couldn't be happening at a worse time. You know what I mean? But honestly, Gino, what do you expect Rick Hahn to say? Like, what, from your perspective, what should he come out and say, as far as this situation?
He just needs to bring Tony La Russa into reality and out of
See, now, the issue, I mean, and we talked about it a bunch of times, and I said it at the beginning of the year. It seems like Tony La Russa doesn't speak to nobody but Jay Reinsdorf.
He doesn't have to.
Thank you. And so if you're Rick Hahn, how do you even deal with a situation when you're just like some invisible middleman?
Hey, the fact that he told told the media that Yermin has a locker and I have an office said enough for me.
I almost just threw up in my mouth right there, Gino. Like, oh, my God.
Hey, White Sox fans, you guys have a game starting in a few minutes?
Gino, could you imagine your manager saying that about? I'm like, when he came into the clubhouse, he would see me with my feet kicked up in his office. Like, oh yeah, I guess having an office is real nice. Oh my God,
cleats, dirt, grass.
I'm trying to tell you, I'm sweaty. I'm like, yeah, I would have pulled the Ice Cube, pulling up on Jerry Heller and Easy E. Like, oh, it must be nice. Maybe one day. Okay.
Problem here?
Exactly. Come on.
Problem here?
I'm Big Yearn, fam. It's the principalities, okay?
Hey, man. Hopefully next time we on the soil Friday, we're not still talking about Yermin Mercedes and Tony La Russa.
Please. Go get a W today, and you can start turning the book on that until the next time you got to deal with your idiot manager. So, I feel like the fans are having a great time this season. There's no reason to think right now that that's going to change. So at least right now, for today, as the guys get ready to kick off another game, let's go ahead and back away from the edge. We got to take a break, y'all. Let's jump into it real quick. We'll be right back. You're kicking it with the bigs on the soil.
Yep.
WIIFTBPM.
WIIFTBP. Media's just for you and me. WIIFTBP. Media's just for you and me.
all remember our life before COVID-19. The parades, the lakefront barbecues, taste of Chicago, the happy hours, and most importantly, loving those unforgettable moments with our friends and families. Getting Chicago vaccinated is what will make the activities we miss safe for everyone. So let's get back to it, Chicago. Let's come together to end this pandemic. Find your vaccine at chi.gov/COVIDvax.
This is Tori Muhammad, and we want you to tune in to the Tori Muhammad Show that airs here on What's in It for the Black People Media every Monday and Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. We talk and celebrate Black-owned businesses, Black entrepreneurs, and we talk to some of the best people in the food industry here in Chicago, Black chefs, Black restaurateurs. So make sure that you tune in to us every Monday and Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the green side of things. It's your man, Sadiq.
And Cassiopeia.
And we need you to like,
comment,
and share
that thing
every Tuesday and Thursday from 1
to 3 p.m. on
What's in It for the Black People Media.
My brothers and sisters.
No bullshit at the pulpit with questions for the reverend, like why I gotta die to go to heaven, or are these lies and deception a sign of what's next, to deny my progression to my soul through my spirit from my mind and my flesh? You be hard pressed to alter my perspective. It's reflective of my perception. All the lives and the tribes that's affected, dying quick, effects from environments neglected, disconnected, disrespected. This the same section we never invest in. Our own sales from our own shells, become owners on our own. They get on with our own help. Yeah, creators of our own world. Communicate, we accumulated our own wealth. Created in this image, so when I say it, I meant it. Do the science for yourself. My brothers and sisters, we ain't niggas and bitches. My brothers and sisters, we ain't niggas and bitches. Can you dig that though? And I put this on my mama, like Madonna, Mother Earth, Mother Africa. I'm honored to be a part of where it started, selling Starburn through the stardust on my starship. My heartbeat is godly. I'm the light harness from the darkest part of darkness. Such a godsend. I teach my son to treat your daughter like a goddess. I teach my daughter to treat your son like a god king. I can never deny my fate. My melanated skin tells my story every day. Fortunately, my fortune awaits. Majority of the world, minority in the States. Yeah, we blossom from the concrete. The world copies what they see, then mocks my mystique. The possibilities impossible to see. The ways of Western man can match the prophets of the East. My brothers and sisters, we ain't niggas and bitches. My brothers and sisters, we ain't niggas and bitches. Young brother, young king, you're a genius. Young sister, young queen, supreme beings. All you have to do is believe it. All you gotta do is believe it. Young brother, young king, you're a genius. Young sister, young queen, supreme beings. All you gotta do is believe it.
Y'all niggas, and you gon' be niggas forever, just like us, niggas. You're not niggas.
Man, that's my homie too.
Yes, we over here talking about the Lollapalooza lineup that just got dropped.
Too bad
Shout out to everybody tuned in to On the Soil.
Too bad we not going to that.
Yeah, man, I thought about it because I've missed live shows, and you talking about Gibbs, K Tronada, Young Thug.
They all on Lollapalooza?
Yeah, they all on the lineup. Tyler, the Creator, is going to be there. And
lineup is bananas.
Yeah, the lineup is definitely on point. But I can't get with the fact that, I mean, you know how those Lollapalooza crowds are. You know what I mean? The bunched in.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
Thousands of people at one time. I know we know some people that may have some apartments on Michigan Ave. We may have to post up and catch a bird's eye view.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
Yeah, because see now, Gino, I literally, honestly, Gino, I think I thought a little bit too long on if I should cop tickets. They just went on sale. I think they dropped at noon today, and it's the first festival. But Gino, I can't be around that many damn people.
No,
I just literally
people.
picture myself trying to enjoy it. I'm like, nah, I couldn't.
You definitely not gonna enjoy yourself like you usually would. So I just say fall back, man. Hopefully they got a stream you can watch. I know it's not the same as being there live in person, but if it's a stream available, I'll take that.
You know what? The stream.
You be an idiot,
is the next best
Lollapalooza.
thing.
Exactly. Y'all are some idiotic fools if y'all don't have a stream available for.
So I got the whole list.
Go ahead and drop some of the notables.
They got my man McJenkins on here.
Okay.
They got Mike Jenkins on there.
Jenkins. They got Toby Lou on this boy.
Okay.
Shout out to Lottery. That's
Polo
his guy.
G.
Okay.
Trippy Red.
Okay.
Tyler the Creator. Miley Cyrus.
Pull up
Rowdy
in the
Rich.
drop top, she dropped dead. Shout out to
The Baby. Megan Thee Stallion. Freddie
This is
Gibbs.
all Lollapalooza.
Yeah, Freddie Gibbs. Jack Harlow.
Wow, so
Man,
this is like the
it's
reintroduction.
Bussin'.
Because that's some pretty big names all the way through that.
I mean,
lineup.
but ain't nobody been performing, so Mars is thirsty.
It's
And
yeah, it's the
Lollapalooza got that fair,
reintroduction.
so.
Lollapalooza is like, we didn't have a show last year, so let's go ahead and give y'all some headliners all the way through it. I mean, Gino, you know how I am. I mean, I'm gonna enjoy just the Gibbs part, and I can leave. You know what I mean? You put just a few of the guys on the lineup, then, I'm sure that's gonna be cool. But I'm totally gonna be looking for the title link or the Spotify link to the live performances because I can't do the live in person super close without a mask. I mean, you about to get all the people lying about not being sick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting kind of nervous just thinking about it, Gino. But it is a couple of artists that if they were on that lineup, then I just couldn't say no. I mean,
it's just a backlash for me because I want to go, but everybody else would be like, because we working with the media.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So maybe we gotta holler at the squad and see if we can't get some media passes.
I'll put the word out. I know my guy's been acting funny lately. Freddie Gibbs.
Don't say that.
I'm just putting it out there. I love Fred, but man, hit me back, Joe. I done text you, sent you DM on the Instagram, called you. I know a couple of the guys who are closest to you. I told them, man, tell Fred to hit me up, man. He lacking, man. He's supposed to have been on the soil with us, man. When I see our guys on all these other shows, Benny,
Alfredo.
the Butch, you too. And I'm not one of them guys, T.
And I know you're not. I mean, I've been around. I mean, we've been in L.A., Chicago here with those guys.
Hey, and shout out to my guy Smoke Dizza, man. Shout out to King 7. He got the Blue album coming soon. Dizza laced him with something ill. So shout out to Smoke Dizza, who all I had to do was hit him up, circulate the dollar with him, and he came right through. And that's the love that's supposed to be shown. It's as simple as that, man. All I've ever done with Marks was put bread in their pocket, show them love, and if I could pass a connect or a plug, I've done it. So I feel like
you've abided by your own rules. You done kept it player the whole time.
I don't deserve it, bro. And I'm not tripping, but I'm not about to be blowing Marks up. Like, I don't deserve it, man. So when I hit you up and ask you to come jump down on the soil with us, it should be nothing less than a cool. When let me see my time. Let me check my time because I know Mars is busy.
Let me tell you, Gino, and I don't want to cut you off, but I feel like it needs to be said.
Taylor.
Whew.
Thanks, Ja.
What's going on with
Hey, man. Mars told me that Clutch Sports was gonna hit me up.
I remember.
Right. Hey, Lil V.
Practice days, all of that.
Shout out to Lil V for always holding me down. Lil V, tell Rich Paul to get at us, man. Ain't nobody trying to make no money off Taylor, man.
That's our boy.
We just want to provide an outlet for him to talk. We don't.
Come on, when I see Taylor, I'm trying to like wrap my arms around my boy.
That's one of our guys, man. We just want to get him back where he came from. He was one of the original members, one of the original big certified members, man.
It really doesn't get more to big certified than Taylor, man. And you know what I mean? Of course, we've talked about it on the soil, man. You go back to the days, you know, at Simeon when we were the only ones, you know what I mean? And I don't even mean to take it there, but that's how long we've been a part of that journey. You know what I mean? And it's a blessing. But Gino Tio, I feel like I gotta mention the fact that, and it's something I give you credit for, you know, behind the scenes, because I feel like it's a skill. You really don't wait for the crowd. Like you really are usually, your ears already heard the next best whoever it is, and not just that, but then you found a way to get in front of these people and build relationships. Like the first time you told me about meeting Benny the Butcher, he was doing shows at Reggie's, and you were getting close enough to make that contact, and you can't do that with the Butch these days. And like, if you ain't backstage or came with him, like, good luck. You know what I mean? And then the same with Gibbs. Like, I've been able to see Gibbs in the flesh, you know what I mean, and see who the real Fred is, you know what I mean? And it's because of you, you know? So
I don't deserve it.
I'm always disappointed to see.
We don't deserve it.
You on point, you don't deserve it. I feel like you are the linchpin to a lot of things that have happened on that front, Joe. And people gotta give you the nod. Like, whenever you reach out, bro, come on.
I ain't about the Kwame Brown marks.
Now, the day you do,
I'm not.
I'm just gonna grab my popcorn.
No, I'm not. And I don't have an issue with Kwame Brown, because that's what we're about to get into. And I don't have an issue with Kwame Brown ethering these cats, because we don't know these guys.
Thank you, Gino. We don't know these cats at all.
We don't know. If you're not closely affiliated with these guys or privy to the inside information, which 85-90% of sports fans are not, then you're just going off of what the media tells you. And we know how powerful media is and how they control a narrative.
How powerful it is. You know, whether it be an Instagram, you dig, or whatever. But I've been waiting to talk to you about Kwame Brown. I feel like Stack and Matt Barnes have been like asking for it. But go ahead and bring the people up to speed. What's going on that front?
Well, I watched All the Smoke podcast. I didn't get it. Was 2 hours with Gil. And you know, Gil is, you know, I had a chance, shout out to Mello from Solid Gold. I had a chance to actually build with Gil. I actually went to Gil's, Gil has I don't know if he still does, but last time I was in LA, Gil had a dispensary out there. So Gil was like, it was Gil.
You know, I remember. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
So it was all Gil. Like, he was stocking the shelves. He was the owner, all of that. So I've had a chance to talk to Gil, not get to know him really, but just have a conversation with him. He did play at the Pro-Am a couple years with Solid Gold. So just knowing Gil and his character, you know, Gil is going to keep it real, I guess. Again, I don't know him like that.
To his thoughts,
right?
You know what I mean,
now,
he's going to tell you exactly how he feels.
Right, but if you listen to other guys, we haven't heard about Gil from many other people. We know his relationship with Nick Young and the things they went through, and now you hear Kwame Brown, and Kwame kind of scaled back on Gil, because Gil, what I heard, like I said, the All the Smoke podcast is Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes, and they recently had Gil on there. So the episode is 2 hours. I only got through like an hour and 10 minutes. But I want to continue to watch it, because I want to know if there was some more shots being taken at Kwame Brown. I did see the initial part where Gil was talking about that Washington Wizards team, and he was basically talking about all the guys on the team, and then he got to Kwame, and then Steven Jackson chimed in, and he like made a side crack, about being the number one pick, and he tried to slide Matt Barnes into it. Matt Barnes was basically like, man, I ain't said shit about Buddy. Like, don't bring me in that. I ain't said nothing about dude.
And he been catching it, yeah.
But so Kwame, you know, Steven Jackson was basically taking little shots at him. You know, they played together in Charlotte. You heard Kwame say, boy, you quit on us in Charlotte. You faked the injury and quit on us.
Stop it.
See, these are things that you wouldn't know if you didn't get the backstory.
Thank you. And that would have never been said unless they poked a sleeping giant. You know what I mean?
Like Kwame said, you
Don't
know,
like
and this
even poking the bear.
It's nothing against that because I don't know Steven Jackson. And you know, we all black men, bro. So at the end of the day, I'm not
trying to.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that
Yes,
to us.
bro.
It's enough of that
Facts.
going on elsewhere. I'm not doing that to us.
Facts.
But if you know, like Kwame said, if you know about Steven Jackson's reputation, you think about the fight in
the
Detroit.
Malice in the Palace. And honestly, Gino, that's why I felt like they had it coming eventually. Like, you don't have the kind of show and the conversations they have where they're basically picking their peers apart and not come upon a guy like Kwame Brown who just simply ain't going at gunpoint. So, Gino, some of the videos I've seen from the man Kwame Brown.
Oh, have you seen? So this morning he went at Jamel Hill.
I did not. I saw people talking about it this morning. I was doing my own thing. I didn't want to ingest it at that time, but I've seen people say, okay, yeah, the Kwame Brown.
Yeah,
don't,
the Kwame
don't cross
Brown
it.
tour is on and popping.
So, real quick on stacking Matt Barnes. I feel like what they kind of put on display is the fact that some of the things we say about players, and you can use Kwame Brown, we call him a bust. Gee, I feel like that's fan talk.
It is.
You feel me? Like Steven Jackson and them ain't really have no ground to stand on calling that man a bust because they ended up saying after he came at their head, they really know this dude. But outside of, or they've seen how he gets down outside of just the expectations that he may or may not have lived up to on the court. You know what I mean? Like, this is still a man that has stood on his and is solid. You know what I mean?
He said, man, I put my mom on a golf course, bro. What bus you talking about?
Thank you, bro.
I came from the free lunch program.
Gino. And was Michael Jordan's first draft pick, man. Shout out to the Kwame Brown. Hey, I mean, Kwame Brown is one of the names like Ryan Leaf in the NFL.
Right.
I mean, just certain things attached to it.
But and even that, when you talked about Big Mike, Kwame Brown.
Got the stamp from Big Mike, fam.
But did you hear the story behind it? So did you see?
I didn't watch the whole response. I seen like 5-minute clips. So I saw what he said.
Yeah, you got
about Matt Barnes and
you got to watch the whole. It may be an hour.
She chose,
but it's worth it. Oh yeah, he called Matt Barnes Becky with the good hair.
With the good hair. Woo. Disrespectful.
Yeah, he went in. But like I said, Matt Barnes was like, look, man, I didn't say nothing about you. And from what I saw, the first hour of All the Smoke, like I said, Matt Barnes was like, Steven Jackson tried to egg him on. And Matt Barnes was like, hey, man, I ain't say nothing about Kwame Brown. That's you, bro. So, again, I want to continue. I'm gonna finish it tonight just to see if there was some more to it. But like I said, with that first hour, Matt Barnes was like, man, I ain't say nothing about Kwame. But Kwame did the backstory on Michael Jordan and the Wizards. He said Mike didn't draft him to bring him along. He said Mike drafted him because, that was his last 2 years. He was trying to make a playoff run, and he was basically trying to trade Kwame Brown to the Bulls for Elton Brand.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Yeah, I mean, and honestly, like that would have been a great move, but I mean, he was a high schooler.
Yeah, he came straight out of high school.
He was the last #1 pick from high school, right?
And then he talked about some of the backstory about what happened. When he was in high school, he got into a fight, broke his hand,
I saw that.
His wrist.
I saw that.
So when you hear all of these things and then you think about Kwame Brown's career and how he was always hurt, then he gets into the politics of the NBA, and this is something that we always talk about. We talked about this in football, and he was like, man, them people don't care about you, bro.
I saw that. He said stars are chosen, not born. He was like, you give any NBA player 25
shots.
Oh, yeah, they putting up star numbers.
He said, they don't care about you, boy. I love his slang. I love his
that southern
dialect. He reminds me of Carl Edwards Jr. He sounds just like CJ.
Yes, sir. I feel that one.
But yeah, man, he talked about being injured and the way they give you a bunch of drugs and throw you back in there.
And that's stuff that Steven Matt and Gilbert Arenas all talk about. You feel me? They all talk about the politics of the league. And that's why Steven Jackson goes as hard as he do. I felt I was better than so-and-so, but the coaches liked him more. Like, that's Steven Jackson in a nutshell. You know what I mean? So, like, they're talking about, when they talk about Kwame, they totally are talking about one of their own, you know? But I want to hear this Jamel Hill.
It wasn't too much to the Jamel Hill. She basically put out a tweet yesterday, and it was basically like an on switch, and it was like Kwame Brown chose violence, basically is what she said.
Uh-huh.
And he basically went in. He was like, look, man, I'm a grown man and I got kids. Don't put that on my conscience. Don't put that in my cipher. I didn't choose violence at all. And she was basically saying, I didn't say you chose violence. She was like, basically, it was a Game of Thrones reference.
That's the whole thing. It's like, she didn't really mean
right.
You chose violence,
right.
Kwame.
But, hey, man, Jamel Hill, just why are you even getting in this?
Well, because everybody else.
So now it's your turn then.
Yeah, and that's fair, but I do feel like it's to a certain extent.
Because so what Kwame kept saying, which is probably the funniest part of all of this, he calls himself my mama's son.
My mama's. I feel like that's all you need to know
about Kwame.
My mama's son.
And R.I.P. because his mom is gone.
Okay. Oh, that's all. Oh yeah.
So
that's scary, Joe.
My mama's son.
It's like whatever you say, bro.
So let me bring up the Jamel Hill tweet,
because I feel like I've seen over the last couple of months, I've seen people try to like interact with Kwame Brown on Twitter. Like, ask for an interview request.
Really?
And yeah, and bruh, he totally takes, like, simple things out of context. Some dude told him, I'm wondering if you have the time, and, like, put a question mark on it. And Kwame took that as dude saying, I know you got the time because you ain't on nothing. And Kwame went in on this dude, like, oh, you think I got the time? Well, I'm too busy to fuck with you. You know what I mean? I'm like, Kwame, bruh.
No, I feel that.
Like, but see now, at the same time, you gotta understand. This
guy has been the butt of the jokes for 20 years.
100%.
And okay, but
it has its effect.
But and if see, this is why I want you to watch the whole interview, because his stance behind all of this is y'all letting white media control the narrative, which I 100% agree with. Now, maybe not to some of the things he's saying. Okay. They could be interpreted one way or the other. I get the gist of it. I know exactly what he means. But he's been the butt of the jokes for 20 years. Now, those guys, like you say, these random tweeters and these random guys, cool. But when you got guys who you know, the NBA guys are supposed to be a family.
A fraternity.
A fraternity.
Yeah.
So when you got guys, like they said, I don't know. I haven't really been following the situation like that. But he said this has been going on forever. So now that y'all guys got this podcast that's pretty popular, now y'all want to put me on the, he's like, y'all could have easily brought me on the podcast and we could have done this.
Which I
agree 100%.
Which would have been a great episode.
Period, bro.
I love the fact that he said, what white man is paying y'all to talk about me? Yeah.
100%.
What white man is telling y'all or paying y'all to tear my name down?
So I agree with that. It's like these random tweets like the guy you just talked about.
Yeah.
Whatever, I can, but when it's my guys, when it's an NBA fraternity, when it's guys who I've shared a locker room with,
addressing y'all.
I've been outside, we've been in the club, we've been in tight situations with, and y'all want to do this to me? Okay, I got something for y'all. I've been quiet for 20 years. It's over with. So he's been on a tirade, and I absolutely love it. So this morning, I got wind of the Jamel Hill situation. So Jamel Hill was basically saying, her first tweet was, Kwame Brown got me checking the tape to make sure I ain't ever said shit about him. If I did, I'm sorry. Please don't talk about my mama.
That's funny. I get it. A Twitter joke. I get it.
Yeah. But again,
Kwame saw it.
You didn't
ain't in the joking mood.
There you go, bro. It's like you didn't even. I understand Jamel Hill. I understand where she's coming from. This is her right. It's her Twitter page. But you knew Kwame Brown was going to get wind of that. You knew he wasn't going.
Now, what did he say to her?
He was basically like, you're lying on me as far as the violence is concerned. Like, you talking about violence, and then like
I completely mess with him or feeling like he needs to respond to that because I don't even attach the fact that I choose violence. You'll know when I choose violence.
So she said to Kwame Brown, I said you chose violence. It's an expression from Game of Thrones. I didn't call you violent. please, and thank you.
Gee, I'm sorry. Oh man.
Which is basically telling him to take a chill pill, but basically calling
I ain't
him,
mean it like that.
Yeah, I don't want the smoke. I didn't want to be in the line of fire. But my point is, you should have just stayed out of it.
But see now, I feel like even if she stayed out of it, I feel like so far everything you said is fair. Like what he said to her, and then what she like, hey, that's not what this is what I meant it as. You know what I mean? I just meant it as a joke. Take it how you know what I mean? I don't have a problem with her like clarifying what she said. Now,
no
what did
doubt.
he say? Did he respond to that?
I'm not sure. I think his whole response, because there were, like you said, there's so many different videos. They got like clips of it. Then there's a whole video.
Oh yeah.
Did you see him come at Stephen A?
I didn't. So time out. Who all did he come at, bro? He got a list. He one of them dudes.
If you
like live look at Kwame Brown, he checking off names on his hit list.
Well, he's basically saying, because Stephen A had a response, because he was basically like, Stephen A has been the ringleader of all of this going back to when he was drafted.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Bum. Like,
right.
Come on, yeah. Stephen A probably didn't went the hardest, bro.
And that's what he was saying. You chose an 18-year-old kid
to
make the butt of your jokes for all of these years.
So you can get a better profile of ESPN.
There you go. Then he brought the white man. What white man been paying you all these years to keep my name in your mouth? Then it was a roast session. Started calling a man looking like, he said, boy, I smack you so hard in the back of your head, you wouldn't know what hit you. He said, you look like you got a toupee on your forehead.
On his forehead.
Oh, he was going in. It was a classic roast session. I've enjoyed every minute.
Go ham, Kwame. Like, I love that.
I can't wait to see the rest of it. But like I said, I'm going to watch the rest of All the Smoke today just to make sure that there wasn't anything I was missing out on.
See, now I feel like this is just a continuation at the same time of a conversation we had a couple of months ago when it was that fiasco between Charles Barkley and KD and Shaq and like old players or retired players versus, other players. And it's definitely kind of like a civil war going on because I feel like current players and even old players, they're like, gee, stop. Y'all don't get to be the critics. You feel me? Like we used to hoop together and now y'all trying to be the critics too. And I felt like as a journalist, this is another thing that you could have seen coming from a mile away. You know what I mean? Like when you get behind that mic, you have different responsibilities, G. And it will bring out probably different sides of you. And I feel like Steven Jackson, because I honestly, like, as a fan, I never really liked Matt Barnes. As a player, like, it was a Kobe versus him thing, and I know they kind of laid down their sweat, but I was always like, F Matt Barnes, fam. But then Kwame Brown was like, man, boy, you act like you talking to Steven. He just played Matt Barnes to the side. He just has no respect for Matt Barnes. He was like, Stack. He like, boy, you act like you carry the team or something. Thank you.
He was like, man, you sat in the corner.
He totally does.
He said, man, you sat in the corner and hit threes for a guy who just got nominated to the Hall of Fame this weekend. Boy, stop acting like you carry the team.
Real quick before we go to break, I was in Miami for the Big Three. I was with family, but the Big Three was in town, and I ended up going to cover that event. And Steven Jackson, and I think it was I hate that I'm not remembering who the other cat was, but it was two of the cats that came straight from high school that are in the Big Three.
DeMar Johnson?
It was somebody that we know. Like, I don't want to, was it Jermaine O'Neal?
Deshaun Stevenson?
Damn.
Eddie Curry?
Nuh-uh. They played, he played on the same squad with Steven
Kwame
Jackson.
Brown? Oh,
with Steven Jackson. They were together. And I had my cousins back there, Trey and Dorian, and I'm like, okay, if y'all want to get a question off, y'all can. Just let me know who y'all want to talk to, and I'll raise my hand. So they didn't want to talk to Steven Jackson. They wanted to talk to the other dude, and I was like, okay, so can you tell me about, because I hate that I'm pulling a brain fart on the name, but I knew that he came straight out of high school, right?
Let me see. I'm looking at the roster now. Josh Powell, Dante Green, Eddie Curry. I don't know.
And that's it right there?
Yeah, this was who knows when. With somebody in the chat.
Yeah, help me out because I think Trey is watching. Trey, if you remember, let me know because Trey just texted me about Tony La Russa, so I know he's watching. But bruh, Steven Jackson stopped me in the middle of asking my question. Like, you know, I went to high school. I came straight out of high school too, right? And I literally had to tell him, I was like, I know. I was asking homie about his journey though. And he's like, I just wanted to make sure you knew. I'm like,
Jack, I know.
See, I'm like, because I felt like, gee, I know he wasn't just trying to go toe to toe. You know what I mean? I'm like, gee, we in Miami. But I know Steven Jackson is one of those dudes that's going to blow his side up. You know what I mean? Going to Don King it, to use one of your references. But on that note, we got another break to jump into, y'all. Let's go ahead and pay some bills.
The Kwame Brown tour is in full effect. I'm looking for his next
Get your
stop.
tickets and your popcorn. Pull up. It's bussin'.
You're on the soil with the bigs.
WIFTVPM.
Hey, sunshines. If you didn't catch the last page in the Book of Dawn, here's what you missed.
You found that, but you also, during those times, made a conscious decision to create a base for yourself outside of the Isleys or the great artists that you tour with. And from that, the Mo Fitz Project was born. Can you tell us how and why you did the Mo Fitz Project?
Let me tell you something. I had been touring since I was 17. And what happened was Eve, your girl Eve, was doing different events around town. And I remember it was right on 47th Street.
Yeah, I think it was Blue 47. Or
yeah, one of those spots. So Eve was doing something with them. So they were like, we're hiring bands. I was like, I'm going to put something together and go play, play local. Let me do that. And through that situation from Eve, the Mo Fitz Project was birthed. I was like, oh, okay, this would be great to actually come home and put quality guys together and make music locally outside of the touring. I just found another joy in it. And crazy, remember Terrence came up with the Mo Fitz.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Terrence was like, you need to call it the Mo Fitz, Reese. Mo Fitz. Use your name. This is how that name came about. It was Terrence Kane and my girl Eve Bridgeworth. She was the launching pad for that. And then she would hire me to do different events. And she started hiring me to do weddings and stuff she was doing. And then it just kind of birthed into that.
Don't forget to tune in weekdays, 9 a.m. to the Book of Dawn from the What's in It for the Black People Media Studios. Roll Tide, y'all.
We all remember our life before COVID-19. The parades, the lakefront barbecues, taste of Chicago, the happy hours, and most importantly, loving those unforgettable moments with our friends and families. Getting Chicago vaccinated is what will make the activities we miss safe for everyone. So let's get back to it, Chicago. Let's come together to end this pandemic. Find your vaccine at chi.gov/COVIDvax.
Drapers that keep liquor stores tipping, from Rothschild's 111 to Sunset on Division. Prestige, famous liquors know our names when they see us chiefing. Wang and speakers, we came for at least a leader. Peep the procedure, we breeze in. Ante up like MOP then, grab what we need and we ain't leaving till we descend. It's yak in the air and I'm fiending for a fever. That rim thing on my pimp game, preach like deacons. I might tamper with a sample of that privilege. I had the staff grab a half a gallon handle of that vintage XO. Love you dig and we can gamble with them digits. Pass the Cavassier, sipping straight till we finish with it. For sure, player, grab about 4 Vegas with bottles and black bags, rotating with no chasers. We gon' player posted like we in the paint. Where the cups grab the ice, bless the bottle and pass the drink. Stay posted on the land, getting busted with my mans, with our cups in our hands. Bless the bottle and pass the drink. Taking shot after shot in the car with a bottle out west, spinning blocks. Bless the bottle and pass the drink. You can make mine a double, whether yak or the bubbly, don't matter, just keep them coming. Bless the bottle and pass the drink. It's the Chi-Town tradition. Welcome to my city, let me show you how we kick. Bless the bottle and pass the drink. What you finna do? I'm finna get loose, sip on some booze. If you with it, we can kick as soon as I slip out the booth. We can cruise through the city limits and slip through the loop. Soon as I'm finished, give me a minute, then I can slip into you. Picture the mood, let me get you in tune. It's how we do. I'm a bend, rolling that bluish, ooish, sticky, ooh. We we can spin through the window and see what that Remy do. I know a spot on Madison that got Henny for 22. Let me slip inside you while we slide like list of shoes. Listening to the newest exclusive Big Lou, the music get you in the mood. In the nude after them denim blues while we drank on. In between songs like interludes. Gotta thanking him a fool, cause I'm trying to see you. In between sheets and covers like interviews. From the news till you reach the pinnacle. Seeing sights you never knew. Tonight you ready? I'm outside ready to make that move. Stay posted on the land. Busted with my mans, with our cups in our hands. Bless the bottle and pass the drink. Taking shot after shot in a car with a bottle out west. Spinning block. Bless the bottle and pass the drink. You can make mine a double, whether yak or the bubbly, don't matter, just keep them coming. Bless the bottle and pass the drink. It's the Chi-Town tradition. Welcome to my city, let me show you how we kick. Bless the bottle and pass the drink. I killed the corner from a pint I had last night on the corner with bags. To them people was on me flashing they flashlights, but I was on it. I'm knowing they trying to act like they own it, cause they roaming these streets. It's just the facts, right? They ain't on nothing anyway. Any day is tough when you hustling just to get a plate at dinner tables. That's why we drink away pain with fists, thinking of ways to raise our chips from days on tips to fade and niggas with clip bust, changing shifts or shaving nicks with the blades with the razor tips. I'm trying to stay legit and let my paper lift off the flip from my greatest hits on laser disc. As I take a sip, 2 cups past wasted, a bottle on the way. I can't resist the temptation. I'm already been in the demonstration. Of course I'm waiting while the drinkers bless the court with they stay posted on the land, getting busted with my mans, with our cups in our hands. Bless the bottle and pass the drink. Taking shot after shot in a car with a bottle out west. Spinning block. Bless the bottle and pass the drink. You can make mine a double, whether yak or the bubbly, don't matter, just keep them coming. Bless the bottle and pass the drink. It's the Chi-Town tradition. Welcome to my city, let me show you how we kick. Bless the bottle and pass the drink.
You're rocking. You already know.
Chicago sports.
Bigs TV, man. See the smile on his face. Coach Goody. Made it to 22 games, losing streak to Nick Irvin and the Morgan Park Mustangs, man. I see the smile on your face. Tell the people how you feeling right now.
Man, I'm feeling good, man. It's been 4 years, man. 4 years I've been losing to him, man. Last 4 years I've been losing to Nick, man. It feels good to get that monkey off my back, man. The most disrespected program in the state, Bogan High School, we don't get no respect. 2073, and we still rank behind 2 teams that we beat. They rank behind us, so we have no respect in Charlotte. But it feels good to get this win.
Hey man, you earned that respect tonight, no doubt. 85-78 victory over the Morgan Park Mustangs, man. Talk about the guard play, Tiger Booker, Antoine Block.
Hey man, hey, Jordan Booker been doing it 4 years at both with me, man. He earned this, man. Tiger earned this. Antoine Box is a great pickup for us, man. He came over to Bogan. I've been breaking him down. He set up for this whole year. He came back when we need him. I've been bringing him in. Slowly but surely, 6 games. This game we need him for. He stepped up.
Great bench play as well, man. Rashawn Agee picked up some quick fouls early in the game. Your big guys, number 14, I can't think his name, but obviously number 34 came in. Big tip dunks, big rebounds, big finishes at the rim.
Junior, that's my next year team with Anton Blossom and DJ Darion Jones. The cupboard is not empty. We got 4, 6, 7 of them on this bench, so we ready for next year too. But them juniors, both of them big boys, 6'8" juniors.
Show them people your trophy, man.
Man, for sure, man. It feel good, man. It feel good, big TV. For sure.
Joliet Central, the next one. What's it gonna take for y'all boys to take it downstate and bring that home?
Man, we gotta go. We're gonna be on a big court. We're really gonna work. We get on a big court and work. Appreciate
you, bro. Appreciate you, bro.
It's the bigs. They calling us the bigs. It's the bigs, but not because I side.
Man, bro.
A hell of a moment, man. Just looking at the images. You know what I mean? Coach Goody, man, oh man, Gino. I feel like over the last 5 years, you and I have been blessed to do so many things and be able to do our thing on the high school basketball scene. But I don't care what level, the sports we're talking about, man. Professional, preps. Arthur Goodwin has been so good to us. I mean, I'm so sad that we got to say, R.I.P. to him. Now, Gino,
Man, I feel like one of my favorite hashtags is those that know. And Goody would be the face for those that know hashtag.
And low key, I'm so happy that I know when it comes to him.
Shout out to Ken Rock.
Big shout out to Ken Rock.
Kenny Horton, assistant coach at Bogan, was with Goody every day for like the last who knows how many years, probably 9-10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been knowing Ken. Ken is like my arch rival, but one of my best guys.
Definitely.
Since the late 90s.
Another one of your guys who crossed over and became one of my guys. I got a lot of love and respect for Ken.
Good guys, man.
Yes, man.
We find a way to bond and have those relationships.
Share that friendship,
But Ken, him and Goody, they were like and much love to Rob and much love to Ty Slaughter and much love to Lou. Lou Adams. Lou Adams out of Orr.
Yes.
And all the other coaches that have allowed us to be a part of their
all over the city.
All over the city.
Chicagoland, bro.
Numerous coaches that I hate to name guys and leave some out, but
even the suburban
Nick,
Catholic
I
schools.
got much love to Nick Irvin. And of course our Catholic school guys, Mount Carmel and St. Rita and all the other all the schools we've covered, but no one, I can't say no one, but there was nothing like going to Bogan and being able to get Bogan was like our first behind the scenes high school look.
Literally, like our very first. I'll never forget walking into the gym and we got the camera on Bryce Barnes.
Bryce Barnes and James Jones.
Oh man, and James Jones, a burner. You know what I mean? And that was our first taste of really our first piece of content on the high school basketball scene for the bigs. First of all, a quick shout out to Bryce Barnes, who I just saw. Just got his master's. So he got 2 degrees in the last 5 years. Shout out to Bryce Barnes. Arthur Goodwin product, man.
And James Jones just won the national championship.
Wow,
D2 national champion this year. And he was putting up a dub 5-5.
Let me tell you, Gino.
These are Arthur Goodwin products, bro.
Period. And I feel like we brought up the other coaches because the way that they pour into those kids is something to behold. You know what I mean? When you talk about the Bogan basketball team, you don't, at least on a notoriety scale, like on a national scale, you don't really hear them mentioned as much as they should be with the Simeons and the Whitney Youngs.
You heard what he said. They like the Rodney Dangerfield, man. They never got the respect.
Yep. Can't get no respect. But you know what? We talked about how you get that respect and basically how you retaliate against that early in the show, and they did it the right way, G. They got in the gym and put in the work and the hours, and then it showed on the court when they would go toe-to-toe with the Giants on the scene, and they would knock them down. Yep. You know what I mean? Yep. And just like any coach, any good program, they took on the characteristics of their head coach.
Goody was not going.
They thugged it out. They thugged it out skillfully. You feel me?
Yep.
Like, and it was something to behold, man. And to go into how Goody was treating us, man, Gino, like one of my favorite things would be the pregame interactions between you and him.
He looked forward to that, bro.
Bruh, it was the TNT treatment. It was the total red carpet treatment, which is what the scene deserved, and he embraced it with, as much as he could. Like you said, he would look for us to get that pregame action off, and you already know postgame after a big win.
He was
who y'all need?
He was gonna give it to you.
Who y'all need?
Too.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So I know everybody's feeling it right now because he meant so much to that program, man. It's hard to state just how important he was to that program. He ran the whole gym. When the varsity game was over, he was hitting the concessions to make sure they was bringing in and organized. And then he was watching the JV game, like you just said. He was gonna tune in and come see the girls play. I mean, he was just one of those guys, and we didn't even get to mention his upbringing and how you get that kind of respect.
Those that know.
That know. So I feel like we got a little moment to celebrate his impact, and I'm thinking of all these times we got to see him smile, like you said, and cut down that net and put it over his neck I'm so happy that we got to be there and document that and show that video, Gino. Because like we say all the time, who else? You can't find any footage of him like that in that element anywhere. So
True.
Definitely, man, we're gonna miss you. We're gonna miss you, big dog. Rest up.
Man, Joe. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, goody, man. And the last time I saw him, they were the team was practicing at the school down the street on Indiana.
So, I remember you told me about that.
Yeah, he
Okay.
had about 30 kids. It was the varsity and the frost-off
So a
team
great
together.
turnout.
Yeah, and they were just going hard. And again, like you said, they took on, all of Goody's characteristics, and you could tell that even though if they weren't the most skilled players, they were determined. And
Don't give 100%.
He taught in his own special way. He could get across to the kids probably in a way that maybe not too many other coaches could. So,
Facts, Gino.
yeah, it's a tough time for everybody.
Totally.
We know how much he was loved around the city and especially in
Yes.
the Chicago basketball circle. So, RIP to the great Goody, man.
Gino, man, we talk a lot about how the game has changed on the high school level, you know what I mean, and then to college and the NBA. But one thing that's the same is good coaches matter.
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
You get you a good coach, and then they're gonna pose. There's so many other roles. You know what I mean? They're gonna be the father figure for a lot of kids.
You see
Best
all the
friends
you see
to
the
kids.
posts from all of his players, and that's
Yeah,
the
man.
one thing they say. I didn't have no father. You were that guy for me.
Man.
And that says it all.
Man.
Yeah, that says it all. So RIP to Goody, man. RIP to Snake too, man.
It's a couple losses, bro.
Snake passed a couple days ago, man. Another guy who we became cool with over the years, would always see him at the United Center.
Yes, bro.
And when I saw the RIP messages on Facebook the other day, I'm like, damn, man, another one. And then I saw Paul Mooney pass this morning.
I literally just saw it on my timeline, man. And real quick about the Snake in the high school basketball scene. He's one of those guys that I didn't get to meet, but saw everywhere. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and I feel like in Chicago, that's what the scene is. Faces, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then you get to, find out their story when you get a little closer to them.
True.
And so I've definitely been seeing a lot of people say R.I.P., man. It's just Gino. I mean, before this pandemic, you know what I mean, to go back and to have lost a couple of the people, lost some of the people that we have, honestly, I feel like the scene needs a hug. You know what I mean? We didn't get the season last year, or at least the season everybody hoped for. And now when things get back to normal, next time around, we're going to be missing some big figures, bruh. So, tough time for Chicago basketball.
No doubt, man. On a lighter note.
Let's do it, Gino.
The play-in games yesterday.
Oh, I don't know if that's a lighter note, man.
Well, because we just going to skip right over the Pacers and Charlotte Hornets. The Pacers scraped them people up and down the court without their second-best player.
Oh, my God.
It was ridiculous the way. And this is back to what I was saying about the Charlotte Hornets and the Bulls. Now, true enough, the Hornets were not at full tilt either.
Yeah.
But you got to have a better performance than that when your
Definitely.
lifeline depends on it. Or were they just ready to go home? Were they just ready to go to the crib?
Gino, I feel like that right there is what I was marinating on and watching the game, and this is what I kind of walked away with. I should not have expected a sense of urgency from a team who spent 72 games mostly losing.
Right.
You know what I mean? I shouldn't have
Mostly losing.
I shouldn't have expected the type of basketball I was expecting. I was expecting a March Madness kind of, you dig. I forgot that these dudes just played 72 and did not deserve to be in the playoffs, man.
Non-inspired basketball. Like you said, if it wasn't for LaMelo, guys like Miles Bridges who's looking for that next paycheck, they might have been at the bottom of the barrel of the NBA.
That Pacers versus Charlotte Hornets game was probably the worst basketball game of the season that they showed on national television. It was tough from beginning to end, and it made me regret that I even spent time thinking about that game.
Now,
go ahead.
No,
to the Wizards.
Yeah,
and
now
Celtics.
let's quickly move on because we ain't getting out of here today without our word of the day. So I know we got 4 minutes left. So let's keep this short and sweet. And I'm gonna just get right to it.
I only got one thing to say. Go ahead.
Is it Uchi Wally or is it One Mike?
For our boy Russ.
Come on, man.
You know what it is.
Come on, man. Oh, I try to tell y'all. Now,
it's Uchi Mike, okay?
Wow. Because if you look at the stats, which most of y'all, not you, when I say y'all, not you,
when it
but when it comes to stats, that's all y'all care about.
Gino, when it comes to stats, part of the fun is watch. I mean, when it comes to Russ, watching the stats is part of the fun.
So when you see 20, 14, and 5,
he killed.
No, he didn't.
He went crazy last night.
He played totally uninspired basketball. He was not into the game. He shot 6 of 18.
Bruh. And lost to the Celtics without their second best player.
Come on, man. Jason, Bradley Beal, he only had like 22. I know he's having a hamstring issue. Brad is one of my favorite guys in the league. No excuses. He was out there. They got to be able to wheel them guys to a W.
That's my issue with Brad. You know what I mean? He can put up a lot of points in a losing effort.
And he didn't even put up a lot of points in the losing effort yesterday.
In a play-in game. But shout out to Jason Tatum. 50.
Boy, dropped a 50 pack on them.
Come
people.
on, a 50 in a win. That honestly, that's what should have went down, boy. This is a playing game. Real quick tonight, playing game.
Ooh.
Lakers versus Warriors.
That's obviously the late game.
That's the later game. But then we got Grizzlies versus Spurs.
That's so. What time? Because I'm gonna be at Wrigley.
It's kicking off at 6.
Because last night I got to see both games. I was at Wrigley. That's crazy that I could be at Wrigley Field and watch 2 whole basketball games.
In the scheme of one baseball game, I was trying to tell John real quick, bro. I was like, because she's like, the game lasted long. And I was like, no, it didn't. I mean, baseball games last 3 to 4 hours.
And a basketball game at the most 2 hours and 15 minutes. The Bulls game started 7. Game is over at 9:15.
I know exactly when it's gonna be over.
I'm loving that. I like the way Adam Silver is progressing. Hey, MLB, y'all need to follow suit, man.
The White Sox games have been so long this year, bro.
Hey, the Cubs, the first win over the Nationals was 2 hours and 58 minutes. I said, wow, an under 3-hour baseball game. What are the baseball guys looking out for me or what?
Yes, they are. Gee, that is a blessing. That's a baseball blessing. But Gino, I'm totally looking forward to Steph versus LeBron and AD today. I don't know if it's the shoe-in that that a lot of people are saying that it is. I mean, the Lakers better be careful.
I'm taking the Lakers, and I'm taking San Antonio tonight.
I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to jump on the opposite side. At least for one of the games. I'm going to go with the Warriors.
Right, in San Antonio.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Go ahead and drop that word on us, man.
Today's word of the day. Ron Rilla, you ready? I had a choice between a few words, but I'm going to take it easy on y'all today. Today's word of the day. Egress.
Egress.
Egress. Egress. Egress.
Okay.
It's a noun. Herb Howard in the building.
Shout out to the God.
Herb. Egress. It's a noun. It's Latin.
Okay.
I don't know anyone that speaks Latin. I still haven't met anyone that speaks Latin. It's mid-16th century.
This
is going to be easy for you, T.
Okay.
You're going to take us out of here with a sentence. It's going to be easy for you today. Egress. It's a noun. Its origin is Latin, mid-16th century. The action of going out of or leaving a place. A way out. There you go. I didn't even have to give an example in a sentence because I know y'all could do it for me. Herb said he was about to egress. T.
If Tony La Russa doesn't get his old ass together, the White Sox are going to be looking for a way to egress out of that situation.
Tony La Russa, I'm going to save my Pimp C quote for you today. On that note.
Coming
up next, we got the gods.
Yes.
The brothers now. Cousin 2. Double H. Herb Howard. A third of the kickoff kickback. I said what I said. Double H, man. It made him sound,
Yeah.
I may have to find something a little more player, but I'm going to use that one for now. I'm going to find something a little more GDN for you.
Nice little foundation. Okay.
Yeah, but a little more GDN for Herb Howard. Herb is from the east side. I don't know where them forks came from. It's either Solid 4, It's Forks. Okay. Yeah, I said what I said. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. right here on the network, man. So, go take your bathroom break. Go roll up. If you're at work, tell your boss, hey, man, get off my back. I got to tune in. I said what I said. I'll do the work later after 3.
It's required of you lending your ears these next couple hours to the brother. So, yeah.
So, with that being said, for myself, for my player partner, T-Tom, for Ron Rilla holding us down behind the boards, doing all of the hard work.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate the family members again, the Cubs and the Washington Nationals at Wrigley Field tonight for Game 3. I will be in the building. Make sure y'all tune in to Diamond Talk Live, Cubs post-game with the Bigs.
Turn your Facebook notifications on.
Please lock in with us. And, man, y'all know how we do over here at the Bigs. Show love, spread love, stay away from the haters. Circulate the dollar with your people, man. I took a day off with the gyms, but y'all make sure y'all shop with me. Shout out to everybody that blew me up yesterday. I'm putting y'all orders out today. Hey, man, I only got a few more sizes left, so y'all come on with it. Circulate the dollar with your mans, Joe.
Do it.
I'm rocking leaders today. Shout out to my boy Corey Gilkey, one of the illest streetwear guys in the history of streetwear.
Minds
yeah,
ever,
man.
You know what I mean?
My boy
Shout
Silk.
out to Freestyle.
Southern University, man, at its finest. But, yeah, circulate the dollar with your people. Show love, spread love, stay away from the haters, but most importantly, always, always continue to keep it player, man. I know it's a lot of unplayer individuals out here. Y'all out here financing shoes. Stop that, man.
But you on they
I'm on
their heels.
I'm on their heels, man. But Tony La Russa, this message is for you.
Tony.
In the words of the late, great Chad Butler, Port Arthur, Texas.
PA.
Known to most of y'all as Pimp C.
The Pimp.
Hey, Ron Rilla, this message is for Tony La Russa. Tony, get off the boo-boo, man.
It's us.
WIFTBPM.
Better. Traffic jam fan. You know it. I'm from the middle of the map. I get around. I've been there and back. Born in Gary, Indian, just to be exact. Got family in the go and family in the nap. Same shit everywhere, saw it in the A out on old Nat. Sucker free suckers can't take the heat, nah they gon' rap. Big dumb cats, big guns clap. Another brother dead, another mother son lack. I'm from the era where the niggas did scrap. Seen the same person shot with 2 different straps. You don't want this, now you don't want that. Tired of fuck shit, wanna take a nap. I'm a dog on these chicks, just a different cat. Must make at least a M to make an impact. Made just paint the Benz matte black, fresh head to toe. Never wore socks that didn't match. Cause I'm from the middle of the map. Yeah, I'm from the middle of the map. I'm from the middle of the map. Nigga, I get around. I've been there and back. Yeah, I'm from the middle of the map. I'm from the middle of the map. Yeah, I'm from the middle of the map. I get around. I've been there and back. Check. I'm from the middle of the map. I get around. I've been there and back. Born in Gary, Indian, just to be exact. Got family in the go and family in the nap. Talking money, shit hit my jack. If it don't make sense, shit I can sense that. Blowing big loud, never the mid pack. See you talk, that's just big cap. Nigga, I walk the walk with graduation hats. Fuck your opinion, nigga, in fact. You fuck my bitch, shit, I tip my hat. Now she dead to me, can't bring her back. Play the game, play the field, never been set. Bulls game, flow seats just like my Benz mats. Blunt to my lips, gun on my hip, her project pack. Act not my cup of tea, rather sip some yak, cause I'm from the middle of the map. Yeah, I'm from the middle of the map. I'm from the middle of the map. Look, I get around, I've been there and back. Yeah, I'm from the
shaking up.